Okay, it's Tottenham v Newcastle this weekend. The match is on Sunday, 25th of August, 4:30 kickoff, and it's available on Sky Sports for anybody wanting to watch it on television. In this video, we're going to have a look at a full match preview. We're going to do a predicted lineup, predicted scores. We're going to have a look at injuries, previous form. We're also going to have a look at what the bookmakers are saying and what their predictions are. Have a look at any potential problems for Steve Bruce and Pochettino before the match. Now, if you want to keep up to date with videos like this on Tottenham, on Newcastle and the other top Premier League clubs, we do match analysis, player profiles, match previews, and through the transfer window we have a good look at transfer news and do analysis on new players. Just click the red subscribe button below and click the bell notification, and you'll be kept up to date with all future videos as I upload. So now on to injuries. So we'll cover Tottenham first. Should have Dele Alli and Ben Davies back available in the squad this weekend. They're both been building fitness, and so they should both be available in the squad. We'll obviously have a look at predicted team lineups later to see whether I think they'll feature or not. Ryan Sessegnon, he's not expected. It's going to be mid-September before he's available, I think. João Foyth, obviously, another one likely to be out for another month. The good news is he's completed his suspension now, so that's all out of the way anyway. He wouldn't have been available for those first couple of matches. And the big return this week is Son is back after suspension, so he's available. Now let's have a look at the Newcastle injuries. That's a different kettle of fish. He's got a lot of problems there as Steve Bruce. I'll just run through his injuries. Got a long list here. We've got Florian Lejeune is out, Jack Colback is out, Christian Atsu is out, DeAndre Yedlin is out, Andy Carroll is out, and Joel Linton was expected to be out, but latest news is his injury isn't as serious as expected, and we will likely see him play this weekend. Andy Carroll, I think it's probably better if we reported when he's actually available to play. I mean, he's joined Newcastle, he's on a low basic salary, a minimum wage as you like, and he's on a play and paid type of contract there, so I don't suspect he's going to earn much, but really we ought to be reporting when he's available and not when he's injured. Also doubtful are Dwight Gale and Alan Saint-Maximin. So Newcastle have got a lot of injuries going in. Now, looking at the previous form, Tottenham have won the last 4 out of the last 6 matches, and all 4 of those wins were in the last 2 seasons, so not looking hopeful for Newcastle. This is a game that, looking how the top of the Premier League is shaping up for Tottenham, it's a must-win for them to keep themselves right up there with the Liverpools, the Man Cities, the Arsenals, the Man United. So it's a must-win for Tottenham, and it's a must-win for Newcastle off the back of two losses. So Newcastle lost to Arsenal 1-0. They lost 3-1 to Norwich, which is a bad away win for them. And, you know, if you look at how they played in both those matches, Newcastle had 38% possession in the first game, 37% in the second one. So they're not holding the ball, they're not keeping the ball, and but they have created chances. So, you know, it's not that they haven't been creating chances. They have created chances and they've had opportunities. So Tottenham do need to be on their guard. Obviously, Tottenham, a great home win against Villa in the first match, ground out that infamous draw against Man City. So, you know, this is one that they need to just go on and win convincingly. Now, the bookmakers, they tending to agree with that. They're putting it down as a very roughly a 63% chance of a Tottenham win, a 25% chance of a Newcastle win. And sorry, Newcastle fans, but I think you're being a little bit optimistic there, the bookmakers, and a 12% chance of a draw. Now, problems for both teams. For Newcastle, it's the injuries is the main thing. No manager wants to start the season with lots of injuries. He's a new manager. The North East is a little bit unsettled at the moment. They don't like the appointment of Steve Bruce. They're not happy with Mike Ashley. And then the team goes and loses the first 2 games. So the pressure is on Steve Bruce. So he's got injuries, he's got pressure. He'll have pressure from above, pressure from the fans. But you know, anybody that is under that sort of pressure can be dangerous. And Steve Bruce said about the last match that he wasn't happy with how they played, but he wasn't happy with their physicality, their effort, their aggression. And so I expect them to come to the Tottenham Stadium this Sunday. And I expect Newcastle to be very physical, very aggressive, very mobile. So it could be that sort of game. Now Tottenham, Mauricio Pochettino's got some different problems. Obviously he's got that unsettlement with the European transfer window open. And, you know, he's got Eriksen, he's got Vertonghen, he's got Alderweireld, he's got Rose, all that unsettlement there. But I think his biggest problem is how does he line up the team? And, you know, we've seen him play in the middle, Harry Winks, Ndombele and Sissoko. And, you know, if you look at how Ndombele has played at Lyon before, he prefers a central, if anything, slightly to the right of the midfield, but a central. Sissoko probably prefers a central as well. So there's an argument that he's got players like Dele Alli back, he's got Song, obviously he's got Moura, Lamela, Eriksen, Winks, Ship. He's got to find a system, he's got to find a midfield that works for him. Now you could bring Lo Celso in and you'd obviously think, could he play on the left hand side? And yes he can, but again he's another attacking midfielder that prefers to play probably more centrally and has been used more as a sort of attacking right-sided midfielder. So, you know, I don't know whether Pochettino will play him on the left-hand side. So Pochettino's got slightly different problems. He's trying to keep people happy. He's trying to find his system in midfield. He's trying to get that balance between trying to secure up the defence, but also be creative in attack. So it'd be interesting to see how he attacks the lineup this week. Now I'll give you my predicted lineups. And they'll be different to what I would hope it would be, but I'll give you those predicted lineups now. We'll start with Newcastle first. And Newcastle, I don't expect, with all their injury problems, for them to line up too differently. I think it'll be Dubravka in goal. I think he'll play the 3 at the back, Dermot, Lascelles and Cher. He'll play 5 across midfield, and I think he'll try and pack that midfield and try and bully the Tottenham midfield, really. And I think that'll be a midfield of Ritchie, Sung-Young, Shelvey in the middle, Hayden and Crafto. And then providing Joel Linton is reported fit, and it's looking that way, I think he'll start with Joel Linton up front and Almiron. And I watched Newcastle against Arsenal, and I was quite impressed with Almiron. He looks very confident. He looks a tricky customer, and he's not afraid to shoot. So I think Almiron is one that Tottenham will need to keep an eye on. He did look a good player to me. Now, on to the Tottenham lineup. Now, this will be my predicted lineup. This isn't the lineup I would choose, and I'm sure all of you out there, I'd be interested to know your comments in the comments below. What would be your predicted lineup for this game? But like I say, he's juggling a lot of players coming back from injury. You know, there's the question mark, does he put Ben Davies in instead of Rose? Does he see Ben Davies as the future rather than Rose? Does he introduce Lo Celso from the start? Does he play Eriksen? You know, or does he say, look, he's not signing a new contract, and all the reports are that he's putting himself out there for Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid? Does he start with Lucas Moura because he got the goal? Does he Lamela scored? Does he put him? So he's got lots of potential problems, but they're nice problems for a manager to have. So this is my predicted lineup, like I say, not the one I expect that I would choose. Lloris in goal. I think he'll stick with the back 4. I think he'll go with Rose, Sanchez, Alderweireld and Kyle Walker-Peters. I think they all did enough against Man City. They were under the cosh for most of the game. There was a lot of pressure, but they were generally, a couple of mistakes, but generally I thought against a team like City they did very, very well. In the middle, I think he's going to stick with what he's gone with already. I think he's going to go with Nombele, Winks and Sissoko. And then up front, I think he'll play Eriksen, Kane and Lucas Moura, and he'll look to try and get a little bit more pace and width with Lucas Moura. Now, if things don't work out, I expect to see probably changes sooner rather than later this week. It's a game he's got to go and win. I expect to see Son come on. I would like to see Lo Celso get some minutes, and I would like to see how he performs in that more advanced attacking midfield role. So there's a chance that Eriksen, Lucas Moura, if they're not performing, could come off. Lo Celso and Son go on. You've also got Lamela there, so if he needs to put a bit more creativity in, he could take Winks off and put Lamela on. But that's my predicted lineup. It'd be interesting to see what he does and what you think in the comments. Score prediction, I'm going for a 2-0 home win to Tottenham. I can't see it going to Newcastle. I think they will create chances because in both games that they've played, they've created chances. But I think Tottenham will just have too much for them. And I think there's enough there in the squad that if his initial lineup isn't working, he can bring players on and change the formation round to make it work. And I think with the crowd behind them in the Tottenham Stadium, I'm going for a 2-0 home win. Let me know your score prediction again in the comments below. If you like the videos, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already by clicking the red subscribe button. And thank you once again for watching.